race fans, and welcome to the penultimate race of Season 3 of the Sunday Night Skippy Racing League. We are coming to you live from virtual Detroit, Michigan on a tiny plot of land smack dab in the middle of the Detroit River called Belle. This race promises to be a thriller with close quarters racing, fast pace, and championship implications on the line as we set the field for the season finale next week at Zandvoort. Will it be one of the usual suspects who leads the way, or will someone new etch their name onto the annals of SNS history with their first victory? Only time will tell. We are proud to broadcast tonight's race in partnership with Barefoot Racing over the airwaves of CavOK Racing Network's YouTube and Twitch channels. Just search for CavOK, that's CAVOK. As always, feel free to join in the conversation with your comments and questions. And I think we're actually monitoring both this time. I think we got YouTube back up. And we'll get to you as time permits. And let's see, I think that's it for the introductions tonight. Let's go and introduce our broadcasters for this evening. First, from Barefoot Racing, Max is with us. How are you doing tonight?
Max has stepped away for a second. I don't know where he is.
All right, well, let's bring up then Ian. Thank you for joining us here. Let's actually, I just covered you up. There we go. now we've got you. So we're doing things a little differently tonight, folks. We've got Ian he will not be racing this evening and did not want to hold a position for somebody who might want to be in the race. So he's actually out there practicing, and we're streaming his stream. So there's a little bit of streamception going on here. But Ian will take us through a lap of Belle Isle to see what the drivers will be facing tonight.
Yeah, looking forward to it. So we're getting towards the start-finish straight. It's in another few corners, but you could probably already see the maze that they will be running in this evening, because I can't really describe it as anything less than that. There is very little room for anybody to make any mistakes tonight, so that should make it quite exciting. So coming up on the start-finish straight here, just around this little bend, and you'll see the marshal up on the line. So this is the start-finish straight. They'll be coming flying down here. They've got a right-hander, then they've got a left-hander. You'll see them drifting right over to the wall on this side already there as they blast down this part of the track towards what is turn 2, which is a very slow speed. So there's massive braking it's usually starting around the 300 down into second gear, ride the curb on the inside, let it drift out. Third gear around this corner, brake again, touch it, and just drift it around, keeping yourself out of the wall if you can. I fully expect to hit it at some point in time on this lap, but there's that turn, and then, I messed this one up. Woo! You can see how easy it is to just make a mess of a corner. I should have taken that a lot further on the inside and been on the gas and sort of let the car drift itself wide to stop me from hitting there. We come down here a fourth, fifth gear before we brake all the way down for this weird little corner here. And this is a little left, right, left complex. We got the left. We're accelerating as hard as we can to get as much speed as we can as we go around these 90-degree corners before we come up to this 90 right. It's in first gear. And again, we're blasting down this little bit of a straight here, getting up into third gear, looking for the 200 board on the left-hand, tap on the brakes, let it drift around, get back on the gas, and now it's flat out all the way. Bump the wall on the way down, but flat out all the way through here, back down to the start-finish straight. So you can really see that this is a really challenging track for the drivers to get right. If you make a little mistake, you are in the wall and there is nowhere to go. The runoff areas that you've got are so limited. There's one just here at the end of this straight, just before turn 3. And as I say, looking for that 300 board, there's a runoff right there. But you see, it's so easy to just run a little bit wide as you're pushing to try and get the car in front. But it is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun, this track. really good drivers are going to have a great time. I think the problem is going to be, again, managing back markers, long track. So the front runners are going to be catching up with the back markers, and there's not a lot of places to overtake. So choosing their overtake zones is going to be critically part of their strategy. As you can see, look, whoa, and he just lost it right in front of me. If that happens, you've got nowhere to go. You've got nowhere to go. And look at this. You can see that drivers are coming round trying to figure out what's going on, and they've got nowhere to go either. So, yeah, that's going to make this a very, very challenging race. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, you know, I tried to make a silly comparison to Montreal at the end of last week's race, but you can tell right away, and I remember this now from last season. It's just a whole beast, a whole different beast entirely. I think it's going to favor precision, consistency. You know, to your point, there's a lot of the. In addition to the walls there, I think the other good thing to point out is the blind turns. You know, we talk about luck sometimes, and something as simple as a little bit of over steer by a driver ahead of you, and they take that turn, you really got to be watching. Oh no, or something like that where they maybe don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
where they break.
there's nothing for you to do, you know. He went around that corner a little slower than I had expected him to, and I was straight up in the back of him. You know, and I had nowhere to go. If he'd gone, you know, I really thought he'd be traveling a little quicker, and because he wasn't, I just picked him up on that corner. Brilliant. Well, look, I'm going to jump out of the race, out of this run here, and jump into the broadcast booth. I'll be joining you there in a moment.
Outstanding. We look forward to that, Ian. Thank you for the tour around Belle Isle. And yeah. So consistency is going to be key, precision as well as you know. I mentioned keep an eye on the relatives. So anybody who isn't into iRacing, you basically have a little indicator, and some are more robust than others because they get overlays from third parties and whatnot. But the idea is you can see how many seconds ahead or behind the people around you are, and it's important to monitor that, especially here, because if you notice somebody's time ticking down real quick as you're coming around some of those blind turns, it could end up saving your hide and your race. We will have one fast repair, which is kind of the magic reset button, although you do have to go to pit road to activate it. So there's goodness there, but at the same time, you don't want to have to rely on that because at the end of the day, it's just gonna still put you pretty far behind, and only a few drivers are able to overcome something like that. I will say before we get into the open qualifying session here, which will begin in just about a minute and a half, wanted to wish a happy belated birthday to Steve Dorr. He recently celebrated, and he wouldn't tell me exactly how old he is, but he assured me it's somewhere between 28 and 82. So at any rate, I hope he had a great weekend, and we wish him well and a little extra luck for tonight's race.
Yes.
It looks.
Are we singing him happy birthday? No. Is that the deal?
Well, I think there was a public outcry to never ever do that again. but maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we can put a vote out there to the general public, but yeah, we don't want to make anybody's ears bleed.
Maybe we need a guest singer.
That does right. Yes, somebody who can actually sing. That does not mean that we don't wish him any less of a happy birthday. It just means that you know, it just wasn't.
Indeed. There we
wasn't
go.
Good. But we've got a. Justin's chiming on already. He votes yes to the singing, but I don't know if he's trolling us or not. We've got a strong field this evening. 40 drivers have registered for the race. I'm assuming it looks like most of them are going to be joining us full time. Sometimes, you know, we will have folks who just, you know, they register but maybe don't quite feel just comfortable enough to get on the track there once the time actually starts. And of course, there you go. But it looks like we've got a lot of drivers here tonight on this very tiny claustrophobic track. So what could go wrong?
Indeed, indeed. Sorry, it really is a very, very short track. But it's a lot of fun to drive. So, God, turn that off. Hang on.
You're good. So
I've got the what's his face running in the background. You know, the
mm,
uh, the YouTube, and so I'm hearing myself
okay.
talk. It's confusing the heck out of me because my brain is not very large. So you got to apologize. I will apologize ahead of time for that. But did you know? Here we go. Let's do a little fact checking of Ian here. So, um, the Belle Isle was originally called Isle of the Hogs. You know that? That was an amazing piece of information I found out. Um, it was in 1982. It was a Formula One World Championship event. Was held on the street circuit. It's 2.493 miles with 17 corners. Good Lord. You know, that's just insane. I can't imagine a Formula One car, especially a modern Formula One car, which is slightly bigger than they used to be, racing around here. I don't know if anybody noticed, but it's very, very bumpy. It's a really bumpy circuit. And in fact, there's a couple of places where you can pre-select a gear. When you hit the bump, it changes it for you in the Skippy, which is which is kind of crazy if you think about it. But yeah, it's a neat place to race. So as you mentioned, Chris, it's in the middle of the Detroit River, and the name Belle Isle, it was actually renamed after a governor of Detroit or of Michigan, his daughter. They named it after his daughter a few years ago. That was a while back. I think that was in the 19, early 900s, something like that. So there you go.
Awesome.
Neat place. Didn't the Trans Am Series race there, or IndyCar, I think, races there?
Yeah, yeah, IndyCar for sure, and
Yeah.
I think they still. I mean, obviously this year was a little goofy at any rate, but due to the pandemic. But yeah, there was. And actually, we were talking about this during the Microsoft Flight Simulator flight. I believe that was. Maybe it was a different time, but the pace car actually crashed, and um,
Good
uh,
Lord.
yeah, yeah, it was pretty funny. One of the guys was talking about how he was actually there, and they were in the stands, and they were doing pace laps, and they just never came back around. They were kind of wondering what happened. Turns out he took a pretty good licking, but yeah. So even the pace car isn't safe here,
There you go.
as you can tell.
So, yeah,
Good
so
times.
racing first came here in 1992. I'm reading. So there you go. So where are we
Perfect.
at? Are we going yet? Oh, they're doing quali now. Here we go.
Yeah, we're doing qualifying. We got Steve Dewar on the screen, the birthday boy. So we got also, I believe, I hope nobody's set a time yet. Is that right? Looks like it.
Looks that way.
Interesting. Okay, now we
Well,
got people
yeah,
starting to populate.
yeah, of course. The thing about this is it's so easy to touch the wall while you're going around here and get a 0x that negates your lap, right? So if you go around on any of those corners and just bump the wall just a little bit and you get a 0x, your lap time is negated, so it doesn't count.
So you've got 10 minutes. As you can see, they're just well, I guess a good amount under 2 minutes, but for lap, and we'll probably see that get a little quicker here as the tires get warmed up and the track
Yeah.
rubber's in. But yeah, you're not gonna have too many shots at it. So each touch of the wall there, you gotta kind of reset
Oh,
mentally, reset your car. Hopefully, it wasn't damaged too bad, but because that would really mess things up as we see Now Jason Weiss, who had the pole for a split second, working his way around the curbs, you can see just how close from this perspective. You know, obviously we saw it when you were driving, Ian, but it's just something to see from a bird's eye view of just how close these guys are getting to those to those barriers.
A camera view where you're sitting on his wheel and then see it from there. Maybe here's left or right. Well, yeah, left or right front wheel, and do that as your view, and you will really get. And you'll suddenly see walls appearing in front of you. You know, as you go around. I see Chris Herrera's got a 1:44.327. You know, one of the fastest times is going to be like a 1:43, maybe. You know, that is very, very quick around here. So if they get down that far, yeah, you look at. Woo! I tell you, there's some places where they go around where, you know, if you get a piece of paper between the wheel and the wall, you're doing well. So he's going to turn in here, and he's actually accelerating before he gets around the corner, and that actually lets the car push wide and allows him to actually miss the wall, which is a bit crazy when you think of it. You know, how do you get around that corner, Ian? Oh, aim the car at the wall and accelerate. It's a little counterintuitive.
Little counterintuitive, and you know, we had a couple drivers here. We don't have the full field, and you know, no, this is definitely not going to be totally understand. There's just some folks who didn't get nearly enough practice in to feel comfortable driving here, and then want to be a hazard to others, and you can see why. You know, this isn't one of those tracks that you just you know, hop on and pick up and hope for the best.
Not at all, not at all. And you can see Pete's gone to the 1:44.013, so he's nearly down in the 1:43s, which is very quick around here. It really, really is. Also, you just saw the guys driving past the pit entrance there. We've got to talk a little bit about our pit stop strategies that's going to be coming up. The entrance is a very, very short entrance, so it's basically off the racing line, turn right slightly, and then slam on your brakes, get yourself down to pit speed, and trundle along to your pit box to do your refueling. And we've been having quite a lot of conversations about this, because we're trying to figure out if this is, you know, what is this doing to the race? Is the race now really all about fuel saving and then refueling, or is there something else to it? Answers on a postcard, please, to Chris Smorrell. What do you think, Max? What do you think this race is going to be like? How many accidents do you think we're going to find in the first lap?
Maybe more than 5.
Yeah.
I hope more than 9.
Yeah, I'm warming up my right index finger. That's what I use to click the mouse as we try to keep up with all the incidents here. But you know, hopefully not. Hopefully for every driver's sake, it's a sinking feeling when you see parts of your car go flying.
Yeah.
Or you see that car in front of you get real big, so all of a sudden.
All of a sudden. I think a static camera down in turn 3 will be a good idea for your first lap, and possibly your second.
Is that? Yeah, I know. We need definitely need to hire some better camera people for sure. I need to.
You were laughing, you were at the top and you couldn't breathe because you were laughing so hard. That was horrible.
Well, the last thing I'll say about Pete here is we go off of him and check out the rest of the field. Pete's running away with the championship right now, and if this pole position remains, it's going to be real tough for anybody to claw back. Currently, Chris Herrera is in second place, and I apologize, just did not have time to put the standings graphic back together, but Chris Herrera is currently 18 points behind Pete, and they're kind of gapping the field at the moment to some extent. So, curious to see how that all works out. I think being up front is going to be your best bet, because you're your only obstacle, you know, at that point, assuming you don't get, but the driving is usually pretty good at the front. You're not going to get, you know, rear-ended or run into, at least too early.
Well, either be in front or be a little further back. I think mid pack is going to be
Smashing.
a bit more dangerous, I guess. And again, I think people are very respectful, especially in their first lap, and they do tend to give each other plenty of space. So, who knows? You might find that 40 Skippies pouring down to turn 3 and turning right might all make it through. We can but hope.
Well put indeed. Here are the results for the qualifying session. This will be your grid for tonight. Congratulations to Pete Mobratton on his 143.508. He will set the pole, and Carl Dronke will start next to, well, kind of next to him, there on the front row. And we'll scroll through the rest. Really strong showing there by Steve Dewar in the 66.
Steve is really moving himself up there now, isn't he? I mean, I'm very impressed with him. He's getting better and better every race.
He did very well last race.
He absolutely did. Although I don't think we are allowed to talk about the last race, are we?
No, I think it's illegal. I think we will get banned.
Are banned. Well, there's 40 drivers here, and they're ready to put on a show.
I'm ready for this.
All right.
Let's go.
Well, they're all queuing up.
Are we ready? Yeah, we got about 15 seconds here remaining, unless everybody decides to get in there. I think we got one straggler, and we may be ready to go here. Indeed.
Let's go.
You got the call, Max.
I do? What? What do I do?
Green.
Go. Way too late.
All right. Down into turn 1, turn 2. Turn 3 is going to be our kicker at the end of that long straight.
Oh, we see some carnage all the way back there. Oh, there's cars upside down.
There. Oh! Crash! It's crash down at turn 3, turn 2.
Turn 2. And the
All
clear
right.
through, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. The leaders are running nicely through there. They have no idea what the carnage is behind them.
No, we will see exactly what happened here. Let's start pulling up our graphs for everybody. And we currently have 4 cars in the pits. That's Jeff Torbeck, Jake Ashe, Antoine DeCache, and Barry Stockdale. And I'm sorry, more. Scott Dorkins, Luis Boboni, Paul Bachler, and Justin Kay. So 8 in total will make their way to the pits that I can tell.
Whereas up in front, Pete is just barely holding a couple of seconds, hundredths of a second lead there, as they stream over onto the backside of the track, and are just getting into the final sector. All making it through there clean, although someone did bump the wall just a little bit. Now, of course, the cars will take a little bit of bumping, but too much of that, and you're going to get failures, and things will start to break.
Like,
Yeah, you can lose a nose cone, you can break suspension. They can in some of the race leagues. I don't think the Skippy tires do yet. I don't think we get flat tires on the Skippy. Nor do we get we don't have a very good wear model on the Skippy either, which is a pity. I think it would be really nice if we could have a model where the actual tires, if you slide your car around too much, your tires start to go away. It'll certainly make the racing a bit more interesting.
Make everything more interesting.
Certainly.
support that realistic feeling that everybody's looking for.
Absolutely, you're totally correct. But the front pack is it's starting to gap a little bit. So you've got car 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 is making a little gap on 4, 5. Who's gapping 6, 7, 8. Just a touch.
A little quick broadcaster's note. It looked like because of the accidents and the towing that was occurring, the gap was a little off. So I've got interval up. That's a little different than what we're used to seeing. But this is the time in between each individual car on the scoring tower until that all gets sorted, and then we can go back to gap.
I quite like interval, you know. It tells.
Yeah, I noticed they use that more during the F1 broadcast.
Yeah.
They use that
It
quite
gives
often.
you a good idea. And I mean, I like the way this is colored. So if it's red.
Oh, sorry. It looks like Chris just kissed the wall there. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, if it's red or orange, I'm not sure. Does that mean that they're getting closer together or further apart? Closer together,
Yes.
maybe.
So the more toward red you get, the closer they are. So white, obviously, they're fairly far apart. I'm not sure what the exact thresholds are for you, but it looks like Aaron Law's in the pits now too. But yeah. Anyway, that's yellow, then orange, then red will be your closest, I believe.
Yeah, red. I think they're getting closer to the car in front.
Okay.
Yeah. But the front pack is closing up now. They've really sort of concertinaed up a little bit now.
Yeah, so to your point, we've got Pete, Carl, Chris, Jonathan, and James, really. And then you come back here to Darwin, who's about 0.9 seconds back from that pack.
Oh, challenging for the lead here. And is he going to make it? Oh, he turns around and he's taken the lead.
Wow, he took the outside the entire time, too.
Pete Broaden, first place. Is it? Is it Pete? No.
No, Carl took it. Yep.
Sorry, my bad. So Carl just took Pete. Nicely done, sir.
Well, and that's whatever happened there. That's going to bring Darwin back up to make contact with the lead pack, and that's going to put now Jason Bice leading the rest of the field, if you will, in the 21 car. They're currently 1.3 seconds away, and Lyndall McMurphy is just behind him that you see there with Thomas Fotos and Steve Dewar rounding out your top 10. Things get calmed down here a little bit. Actually, let's look back here. We've got some close racing. This is Peter Nodwell making a pass on JR Hoops.
Okay, hey Frank, good to hear you, mate. And welcome to the new Running on Empty folks. Always good to see a few more people in the watch list. Welcome to you all. I hope you enjoy this race, and I hope that Running on Empty does not live up to its name.
Yes, we were hoping for good things, good vibes. You can see Max there slowing down, letting these folks by, and that's about it. Now, actually, up here we've got Joshua Dancy from Team Storm trying to put a move on. Oh, that's lap traffic, actually, I believe. That is the 3 car of Justin K. And so Joshua Dancy and Jack Moffitt there you see behind him will be trying to make their way around Justin.
And James Hauser is pushing into the top 6 to try and get some plate spaces there as well, as he's in 5th, trying to get past Dancy and up to Chris Herrera, because of course they're both together in the team. It looks like Walter Collada in the 00 is running a new paint scheme. Is that Walter?
Walter Collada, let's see.
Or is it... Who's in the 00? Sure, I just saw somebody.
It is...
Was it 00 or was it somebody else?
I think Walter drives the 00, but for some reason I'm not seeing him right now.
No, it was somebody else. I'm sorry, I just saw a... No. Trying to find out where he's at.
Huh.
Oh, it must be somebody else I noticed.
Well, we can bring the track map up here. Back here, our Scott Belle trying to make some moves on JR Hoops.
And Steve Dewar is challenging Don Parks for 11th, for 10th, sorry. Pushing very hard at him. Let's see if he can get past. And it's Scott Dawkins' car is the one I noticed. Scott looks like he's running a little bit of a paint scheme there.
Got up 4 spots at the moment. That's
must
be in part due to the paint scheme.
He's just getting passed by Steve and
Steve.
yeah. But I do like his paint scheme. It's very psychedelic, shall we say?
What is it?
I have no idea, mate. I really don't know.
Back here in 25th, we've got a battle brewing with Oliver Hartley, Sean Trediak, and Daniel Pagowski. These three battling hard. It looks like Sean's really doing what he can to try to make it past Oliver. He's gonna make a move. Oof. Oh, maybe not. Well, he settles back. Sorry, we've got Lyndall McMurphy now. Has worked his way up to Jason Bice. Let's see if they can work together. They've currently got 2.3 seconds, which is about a second more. They're kind of being gapped by that lead pack at the moment, unfortunately. And
but Steve Dewar and Don Parks are pushing and catching up with Photos and McMurphy there. So maybe they'll push farther. If they work together, they can maybe work their way all the way back up and catch up with that leading pack.
So, you know, I just had an idea. Like on the if we're still broadcasting on the last week of the season, like week 13 or whatever, wouldn't it be kind of cool if every car did one color?
Oh, good lord!
All of them.
just to make it more fun, huh?
Sky blue pink.
That's really up in the broadcaster difficulty there.
Yeah, what is going on here?
That would test our skills.
Are they going through the corner too wide? Good lord!
Yeah, so Jack Moffitt just made a pass. I don't know what happened there. Joshua Dancy looked like he got a little loose or something like that, but that allowed Jack to make the move.
Okay, top 10 is Carl Drunke, Pete Monbrod, Chris Herrera, Jonathan Dance, James Hauser, Romero, Justin Bryce, Linda McMurphy, Thomas Photos, and Don Parks.
Very good. So Steve getting pushed, at least momentarily, out of the top 10, although he is staying tight there onto Don Parks' gearbox, doing what he can. Now, I'll tell you what, this John Trediak is behind Oliver, just looking left, looking right, trying to find something. He's going to send it outside. Try to get the run off, but he's got nothing right now. It seems like he's faster in some corners and just not finding a great place to try to pass Oliver.
Have we talked about Peter Nodwell? I don't know if we have. He's fairly new to the league. He's currently running in 15, car number 922. Right behind. Who's he behind?
Yeah, he's been behind that Jack Moffitt, Joshua Dancy. This is a really good showing for him up in the 15th position currently. He's up 9 spots total for the race so far as we tick past 12 minutes of the 40-minute race. Well, both Oliver and Sean have made it past Kent Kirkendall for the moment, although they remain in their positions back here. Looks like Justin K and Scott.
What's happened to Darwin?
Yeah, it's Darwin just randomly lost his.
He ran into the wall. He just hit the wall, bounced himself off of it, but he looks okay. Sorry, as my camera moved to him, it looked like chunks of his car were falling off. But it looks like has he lost his nose cone?
Yeah, he has no nose cone.
He has no nose cone.
Has no nose cone. I did not even. It didn't register in the event log, so unfortunately, I don't know that we'll know what happened. I think he was at the end of that.
He's running behind James Hauser right now.
Yeah, train at any rate. So. Yeah, front pack kind of being really agreeable right here. Just kind of looking. It doesn't look like Darwin has really been phased. His car still seems to be keeping up. They're maintaining just over 2 seconds from Jason Bice and Lyndall McMurphy. Another 3 seconds back to Photos, Parks, and Dewar.
Well, I suspect that that Darwin is going to soon get caught by Jason with that problem with his nose cone, slowing him down a little bit, changing the aerodynamics of such that Skippy has, such that they are. We'll see. We'll see. Although Darwin's caught right back up to the back of James Hauser. James is pushing hard, and he has Lyndall McMurphy right behind him.
Yeah. This is a very competitive track. Or a very fast track.
Oh, who is that? Just Lyndall McMurphy. Oh no, Lyndall McMurphy into the wall. Hard. And here comes...
That's going to put a bender in that one. Drive it to the pits, my friend. As he starts to pull back down the list.
Oh,
Steve Dewar's now up to 10 because of 10th because of that. And Lyndall, what did he hit? He just seemed to hit a bit of he just picked up a little bit of the wall and threw it wide. Did it?
Very unfortunate.
Yeah. Oh.
that's
Belle Isle is so unforgiving. It really is.
There's balls everywhere. You can go off the track and be safe.
And what happened to Hauser? He just got passed by... Was that Hauser? No, somebody else maybe. No, he's still good. Okay.
Yeah, we're... Seem to be tracking all right, but yeah, it's a unforgiving. We can see the cars.
Finish that.
Whoa! We can see the cars. Looks like Chris Herrera passes Carl Dronke there as I'm trying to talk through that. Holy cow! What a move! So a little bit of shake up here at the front. Chris Herrera now has a little bit of a gap actually on Pete. Let's see if we can see what happened with that pass. And of course, I've got a terrible camera for this.
It's gapping out the track.
Ooh, that is a move. Chris licked the stamp and sent it on the inside of that turn. Pete, no option but to lay off, and that's also going to let Carl by. Holy cow, ladies and gentlemen.
That was a really good pass. By the way, just to let you know, your wife is not going to be appreciative of you using Postmaster General terminology. We're going to have to come up with our own version of this, you know.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, it does seem a little derivative, but
he heated it up and popped the kernel.
Yes.
And now they're coming up with a lot of back markers, so this is going to get really interesting.
This is
as
getting
they
dicey,
start to
folks.
work their way around the back markers. And it's not such a great part of the track to suddenly come across these guys who are still racing in their own right, you know, and trying to stay out of the way of the charging front pack. And already
Looks
you
like
can see that front pack starting to concertina back up again, and Chris has lost the. Oh, and someone hit the wall. One of the back markers hit the wall and is slightly out in the middle of the road. Slightly in the middle of the road, but slightly out in the way on the racing line. So let's see if that has any effect.
I believe that was Antoine Decache. He is now currently in the pits with Justin K. I was going to say that those back markers kind of let Chris and Pete run away, but Carl wastes no time in catching back up. Although you can see here, James Hauser and Jason Bice just behind him. Oh no, it's not Jason. That's a back marker. But James Hauser kind of losing the group just a little bit.
On that front group, isn't he? Oh, and one of them's into the pits. Someone just dived into the pits.
Who was that?
50 miles
That was Pete
an hour.
Broughton.
So Pete's gone for an early pit stop, and somebody else has just dived in as well. So we'll see how that all works out. Now the question, of course, is going to be: is Team Running on Empty going to split their strategy?
This one is hard to do your fuel strategies on because it's not as long as track as most of the other ones, so they're gonna have to think like that they won't need to take as much fuel.
Yeah, well, I have a word for them for that, and that is you run out of gas, which I did on a race.
Yeah, we don't need to talk. Yeah, there's a lot of folks on here who actually Team Running on Empty, I'm sure, can attest. It's heartbreak, but you know, sometimes you just got to go for it.
Yeah.
Well, so that's going to put Pete back in 13th spot. Let's look at the track map so we can get a sense of the gap. So you can see in green, here's your leader, Chris Herrera. And then we'll focus here just real quick on Pete Broughton. So actually not too bad.
No,
Not
not
too
at all.
bad.
And of course, when Herrera and Dronky cycle through the pits, that's going to put them back out into, you know, right out in front of Pete, depending on what their fuel strategy is. Now, of course, if you do a few more laps, then you need less fuel. Also, you'll be carrying less weight during the race. Now, it doesn't have a massive effect on the Skippies, but there is an effect. I mean, the more mass you have to move around the track, the more that's going to affect your car. So running a little deeper into the race oops, and James tapped the wall with his back right tire there, and it looks like Dronky is sizing up Chris Herrera for a pass as they slide through turn 3 and come right up on a back marker into turn 4. This is a terrible place to just have a back marker appear in front of you. Into turn 5, the little left-hander, before you get to turn 6, which is, you know, point at the wall and accelerate, let it drift away. And you can see the back marker is actually causing them a little bit of trouble there. I think that's Joe, I think it was. He's got out of their way, but it was enough that you can see now the gap building again between Chris Herrera and Carl Dronky. So, of course, who's going to pit? Who's going to blink first?
So we'll bring up real quick here the pit laps. I didn't even catch it, but Jonathan Dan's pit on lap 10, Pete Broughton on 11, and they have found each other. And here they are. Actually, Pete has made the pass now on Jonathan, and they're racing. Or no, I'm sorry. Yeah. Pete's made the pass on Jonathan, and here they go. So they're going to be waiting to see where, Chris, Carl, James, and basically everybody all the way up through 9th, where they come out. And it looks like Carl's in the pits now, and he's going to be the only taker from that front group.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's going to leave Chris and James both from team running on empty, but you can see the gap there, 2.3 seconds. And now they've basically hooked up. I mean, I want to call it 2.3 seconds hooked up, but
No, you need to be within a second of the car in front to really get an effect of the tow in these cars. But I mean, it is an incredible effective tow. When you are within a second of the car in front of you, and I've tested this on some of the oval tracks. You can drop to a 2/3 of acceleration and keep up with the car in front of you. So you really use a lot less gas. But Chris has been out there pushing his way through the air the whole way, and he will have been max gas. I mean, James should have a better fuel situation than he does, for sure right now. So I'm sure they're working furiously on their strategy of who's going to come in and pit, and I imagine it's going to be Chris Herrera pitting first. Pete will probably stay out for another lap or two and then pit afterwards and come back in. But Pete really needs to catch up to Chris and start getting dragged around the track a little bit to help with his fuel savings, but also to put a bigger gap on the others as they cycle through their whole pit stop process. And there you go, Chris has jumped in. So Chris is in. So we'll see how long this takes him. Trundling along down through the pit lane. Oh, and James is in behind him, so they've come in together, which I'm quite surprised about, to be honest. Anyway, all of 35 miles an hour, and he's in his pit box.
And no need to worry about what you're seeing there. Obviously, iRacing lets a couple of people have the same pit box, so he did not just merge with I don't know who that was. That was the 42 car.
No, on its way. That was a great stop. And where is he going to cycle out? He cycles out right
behind.
Where is he?
Pete.
Is he right behind? Yes, he's right behind Pete.
So
But
he got in.
For a second behind Pete.
So we've got just a few drivers to make the pit stops. We're gonna bring that data down, clean up the screen a little bit, and this is your race for the lead. Pete Morbroughton, Chris Herrera, and Jonathan Dance. And James made up just a little bit of time. He's now maybe a couple tenths at most, but he does have Carl and Darwin behind him right now to, I don't know, work with him. Of course I say that, and now we see Carl taking him too wide, wheel to wheel, and making the pass.
It'd be interesting if we could talk to Chris and James after the race about their pit strategy. I really would have expected them to have split the strategy and had James stay out for another few laps, take the first position, see if he could build a bit of a gap, burn a bit more of his own fuel off, and then need less in the stops, have a quicker stop, and then of course be carrying less fuel through the end of the race. But anyway, it'd be interesting to talk to them and see where they were thinking.
Yeah, and the great thing about our setup here, we use a separate audio channel, so each team, they can talk to each other without anybody else hearing, and then of course you have the overall iRacing audio where all the drivers can talk to each other, but that's just for coordinating passes and information like that. You wouldn't want to be giving away your strategy, but these drivers, in addition to racing and trying not to hit the walls, they're chatting with other drivers, with their teammates, and so on and so forth. So got to give it up to them for the job they're doing here. Let's look a little further back in the field. We've got a battle for 22nd happening. Luis, Joshua, and Adam Wright are nose to tail here, and great clean racing going on there. Not the night that I don't think any of these guys wanted. They're down 4, 9, and 8 positions respectively, and so I think they're going to want any any positions they can get back and make that number a little bit better. But
And Pete and Chris is right up on Pete's gearbox and pressing him hard as they come down towards the final turn before the start-finish straight. I wonder if he'll be able to draft him enough to be close enough through turns 1, 2, and 3, 1 and 2 to take him into turn 3. Be interesting to see. Really close to him. And is he going to make a move? He's making a move. Chris is
he's
making
licking
a
it.
move.
Will he send it?
He's there, and he's got the overlap, and oh, Pete hangs onto the turn, but Chris has still got the inside in the next corner as they go around too wide, and Chris has to back out of it just a little bit. That was given, and then of course that gave Dancy the opportunity to close up on that top two, and now start to work his way up into the back of Chris Herrera's gearbox.
Yeah, he had a just a little more room on that exit, but he had to scrub off just enough speed where Pete was able to maintain the outside and get the turn off of 3 there. So at least he's poking and prodding. There's still 10.5 minutes left in the race, and you know, I'm sure he's kind of seeing where he can make passes, where he can't, what works, what doesn't, and setting up for that final pass attempt and when it makes sense to do that.
And Carl Dronke is all over the back of James House's car as they come around. Where are we now? Trying to figure out where I am on the track. Sorry.
I think 13, 14.
Start finish line before they've got the last couple of corners. And here we go over the start finish line and down into turn 1, 2 complex. Carl isn't quite close enough, I don't think, to him to really have a go. Although, you know, it's a longish straight for these skippies, and so he's gaining on him, and he's looking to go round the outside. He takes him on the corner, or I don't know, maybe James backed out a little bit.
Got news up front. Chris Herrera takes the lead from Pete Mabron.
Oh, right, Chris.
Let's see if we can't see the move that Chris made.
Yes, Frank, he sent it.
He did indeed.
And it looks like he posted it first class. My question is, did he ask for a receipt?
Well, I'm sure Pete's keeping them for him because he's not giving them any quarter. And now with inside of 9 minutes remaining, the laps are ticking down, folks. Tough place to pass. This is not one of those ones where I necessarily want to be in second or third coming to the line. This is one where you're going to want to be out front. So we'll see when Pete decides to make his moves as the laps tick down. Oh, it looks like Darwin Romero has crashed into the wall. That's going to let Jason Bice by. Take a quick look here.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's quite a few cars that are looking a wee bit bent. It's a good thing they're in Detroit where they can get them fixed.
There you go. There you go. I don't know where the Skip Barber cars are made, but I'm sure they could hook them up.
Yeah.
We've got some.
He's got a bit of a wobbly looking rear wing. I wonder if that's going to fall off at any point in time. It seems to be hanging on there, but it's definitely slightly akimbo, shall we say.
Just checking in here real quick with Aaron Law, who's looking forward at Daniel Pagowski. Aaron up 9 positions, Daniel up 13 for the race. I believe that's, oh no, yep, no, that's right. So now 14 and 10 is Darwin. They passed Darwin in the pits there, so this is some great clean racing going on further back in the field.
Oh no, Oliver Hartley just ran it into the wall and is now limping back to the pit with a very bent car. The Google car is looking quite sad.
Oh no. Where is Oliver? There we go. Oh boy. Yeah, poor Oliver looks like he's gonna have to get in there for a faster board. This is faster than, oh, as Jason Bice passes him, a little bit faster than getting the tow, but dangerous nonetheless to try to stay away and out of everybody's way. You can see him there chilling out, waiting. We'll go back, check in with somebody we haven't talked about yet. This is Nikolai Wood, and well, we've talked about Sean Trediak so far, but Sean making moves, passing Nikolai. Nikolai up 12 spots so far. Sean gets his starting position +1 with that pass as they work their way through turn 3.
And somebody else we haven't spoken about, I think, very much is Scott Bell. He's in P15 in a very smart-looking livery there, of a very geometric.
Oh, and he's going to touch Oliver Harley. Oh boy.
No. Oh,
Scott.
dear me. He had nowhere to go.
Scott up 7. This is what you were talking about, right? He come around those blind corners.
He's just around the corner from the. If you can make it back to the, get his car fixed there. Limping along on 3 wheels. Oh,
well, they do.
Dear me. Oh, one of his wheels came off. Oh, Lordy, and he's into the pits. Good for him. Well, mate, your livery matches your helmet. That's good.
So our biggest gainer of the night so far is Carrington Wilmer. He's up 20 spots to the 18th position, kind of out there on his own. Actually up 21 now that he passed Belle in the pits. So P17 for him so far tonight. Really strong showing, even though he's in the safety car. Seems like he's been able to keep it clean. So far so good.
We've got a little bit of a battle between Sammy Bridges in 13 and Jack Moffat in 12. As they're battling away for that position.
Yeah, Jack just passed Bridges not too long ago, but Bridges not willing to give up that spot. He is up 4 spots so far tonight. As we tick down to 4 minutes to go, which is gonna mean we're closing in on how many laps we got left, which is going to make it very interesting. Chris Herrera still leading Pete and Jonathan, and James Hauser now making contact with that group. And, well, spoke too soon, Carl as well. So now, suddenly, these top 5 have found each other, and they've got a solid 9 seconds back to Jason on 6th place, Don Parks in 7th, Thomas Fotos in 8th, Mike Bowers in 9th, and Steve Dewar worked his way back up to P10. But this is it. This is the race right here.
It is. It is time to put everything on the line. I'm trying to stay away from any kind of postage metaphors here.
I know, but they're just so good.
Megan, I'm so sorry. Already.
Chris trying to break the draft to no effect here. Pete's going to stick right on him.
All across the road to try and give themselves the best thing. And James is unfortunately losing out. It looks like Carl Dronke's going to... Oh, no, not quite. As they go thundering down to turn 3. Let's see who's going to have the biggest... Carl Dronke's on the outside of James. Is going down the backside. Trying to take it the long way round. But, of course, now running up into the other guys. Which slows him down. Oh, so close. As they're going too wide into turn 4.
Things getting desperate here. They see the time. They know there isn't many more opportunities. There aren't many more opportunities to make that pass. So here we go. I believe this will be the second to last lap, if I can do quick math in my head.
Yep, I think you're right. They'll probably just get squeeze one more lap out of it.
Right on board with Carl, who's at the caboose of this train at the moment.
Oh, we're getting a bit of a gap between the front two and the following three. So I think the front two have just taken off and they're just going to run their own race. So that's Chris Herrera and Pete McBroughton with Danshauser and Dronke seeing if who is going to be the third place finisher. Dancy seems to be in a very good position to keep that at the moment, but I tell you, the other two are pushing behind him, pushing.
Pete making another move, Chris to block.
And we're going to be 3 wide, and James Hauser's moving it down over the outside and passes, and is into third. James Hauser takes third position. Will he keep it? That is the question. That was a nice...
Oh, and he hits the wall. But he maintains.
And the other two are right in his gearbox. I don't know if he's going to keep that position going into this next turn. As they go 3 wide, Dancy's up beside him. Dancy's got the position back. Carl is on the outside, but James has the inside of this. And let's see.
Oh, Chris crashed. Oh, he's off.
Chris hit the wall. So now we're really racing. Carrington nearly hit James and pushed him a little wide there, letting Dronke through. So our whole top line has changed. Pete, Dancy, Dronke, and then James in fourth. Can James get past Carl on what is this? This has got to be the final lap.
Oh, Pete running into some...
Oh, Pete hit the wall again! Sorry, James hit the wall again.
Yeah, James back there. Holy cow.
That's the end of it for James. There's no way he can get that out. Oh
Jonathan
my gosh.
Dance comes in
with
the win at the end. Oh man.
Oh my goodness me.
Okay,
what an exciting finish.
We have a lot to unpack here. Oh man, I don't even know where to start. Let's go back to that Chris Herrera crash that we missed because we were really watching the other race. Oh man, did Pete just get just ever so slightly touch the gearbox there? Let's see. Try that again.
You know, nose cone that came off and went flying. So if you rewind that a bit and slow it down right there, slow it down. Yeah, I think that was Pete's nose cone that came off and ran across the road. So Pete definitely hit the back of Chris Herrera in that view.
Oh, I bet he's kicking himself for that too. I know that's not Pete's MO, but oof.
Yep, there you go, right there. Just enough to toss him into the wall. And then that put paid to Chris's race. Oh dear me! But that was an exciting finish. And then we had Pete run into the wall, which slowed him up enough for Dancy to jump past him.
Just Dance.
Dance.
That was the second to last turn. And so that's how it's going to end. Jonathan Dance, Pete McBroughton, and Carl Dronke. Whew. Let's bring up the results.
That was very, very good. I'm very impressed. Very impressed.
Well, as we look at the results here, congratulations to all the finishers. Obviously, there we just announced the sorry, Jonathan, Pete, and Carl are your podium for tonight. James Hauser, Chris Herrera, heartbreak, but he still finishes fifth. And Jason Bice, Don Parks, Thomas Photos. Thomas Photos with an 8th place finish. That's awesome to see. Mike Bowers and Steve Dewar, the birthday boy, as your top 10. And we will scroll through. As we do that, let's bring in Jonathan Dance, who brings home, he's the 6th different winner now for Sunday Night Skippy in Season 3, his first win of the season, obviously. And what a last lap there. Jonathan, talk to us through what you saw, because we had a bird's eye view, but what did you see?
Well, yeah, so it started with going into Fountain, and it was 3 wide for a minute there. I was trying to give Carl some room, but it was really tough on my left. I had James on my right. And then, yeah, it looked like, I'm trying to get the names right. Pete spun Chris ahead of me. There's a bit of contact, and that, I think, got James to pull out of it a little bit. And then I was like, just getting that, I was amazed. Like, oh, I'm gonna get P2, and then I just watched the replay, and then Pete was held up by that blue flag, the blue car. I don't know who it was, but the lap down car, and I was just able to cruise on by him.
Well.
You had a different pit strategy than everybody else. It seemed like at least the data, we kind of missed it.
Yeah, that feels like a long time ago now. But yeah, I decided to pit a bit early. Basically, kind of a classic endurance move. Saw that there was a bunch of traffic ahead that the leaders were going to have to contend with, so I dove in on the hope that I'd be able to not lose as much time as them. And the leaders were kind of fighting for position too. They kind of started to. So, if they kept that up, that would also give me some time. So, yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what happened to Carl and James on those laps. They ended up catching us back up because, Chris and Pete had just an amazing battle there. It was great to see that racing happen. So I'm sure that you guys enjoyed that.
Oh, it was brilliant. It was some fantastic racing that was being done by everybody there. I was very impressed. It was very, very cool.
Yeah. You don't think of this track as one where you get a lot of overtakes and side-by-sides, but obviously going into turn 3 is the best spot, but then holding it side-by-side after that is pretty rare. So that also brought the race back together. So it's good to see that kind of racing, I think.
You guys definitely put on a hell of a show for us tonight, and first, just congratulations. We kind of skipped over that whole part, but you won. That is awesome.
Absolutely. Congratulations. Well done. Well deserved. That was a good race, mate.
Yeah, completely unexpected, especially this week. Definitely not my favorite track, but it all kind of came together today.
Yeah, but Belle Island's one of those tracks that seems to grow on you. You start off absolutely loathing it, and then you run it a few times and think, it's not that bad.
It's not. It's challenging. I was having trouble finding the lap time. Of course, we're talking about the pace that like Pete and Carl were putting up in practice and stuff. And I was just pleased to start P4 and be able to hang on as closely as I did, really. And then just come back with the win is just, I'm just kind of in shock. So,
well, enjoy it. Go drink your champagne. Spray,
I'll go drink a shoey. Thanks, guys.
All right, mate. That was a well-deserved win. That was really cool.
Yeah, definitely. It kind of. He just put himself in the right place at the right time, I think, is the best way to put it. You know what I mean? You never know what's going to happen. We talked about how luck is going to play a factor into this, and there you go. We just see it right there. It's not luck to put yourself in the right place at the right time, but clearly, the back marker, the spinning, Chris Herrera getting spun, all that stuff. It's you put yourself in the spot to be where you need to be, and sometimes the cards fall your way, sometimes they don't. And for tonight, Jonathan Dance, he did everything right that he needed to do. He had a good fuel strategy, and it paid off for him. And a big congratulations to him for that.
Yes, absolutely. And we have Jonathan Doherty joining us. Hey, Jonathan, how you doing, mate?
What's up? Herrera's in the standby room, by the way. I'm all right.
So what do you think about the race tonight?
Not a fan. I hate this track. Like, I couldn't figure it out last season. Can't figure it out this season. Practiced with Joshua Dancy and JR Hoops and Steve Durr all week long, and they were second and a half, 2 seconds faster than me all week. I just cannot figure this place out.
Wow.
Not a fan at all. Looking forward to next week, though. So,
well, they say it grows on you a bit like mold.
well, you may refer to it as mold. If we're referring to the track as things, for me, this would be the hemorrhoid. Just saying. I'm not a fan of this place. Like, we got a great group, but this track and me, we don't get along.
You don't get along. So how was your race tonight?
Started 21st. Got involved in a wreck early, raced my way back up to 23rd, I think. Pitted, came out of the pit, got wrecked with the lap car, so that was my night.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, mate. I'm sorry to hear that.
Looking forward to next week.
We've got Zandvoort coming up, so
okay there. So I think last time there I was top 15.
Good stuff. Well, you
nice.
can redeem yourself at Zandvoort.
So we get you back at Zandvoort, right?
I'm hoping to. Yeah, I'm hoping to. I'm trying to get myself organized.
And then I've been pushing for Max to get out of the broadcast booth and start racing. I'm interested to see how that's gonna go.
Yeah, you got to get Max to go and get his flipping license sorted out. That's his problem.
Hey, I've coached a lot of people, so if Max needs help, I help a lot of people.
I will let him know.
So, all right.
Perfect.
Well, I'll bounce out. Y'all can grab Chris and have a great interview.
All right, mate. Take care,
Awesome.
Jonathan.
Yep. Later.
Have a good night. All right, well, let's talk to the man, the myth, the legend, leading the race for a lot of it. And, I'll let you tell the story. Chris, what happened there?
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate Jonathan Dance. I think that was his first win in the Sunday Night Skippy. And he was behind me, battling with me and Pete and James, and I think Carl for a bit for the whole race. And he had an excellent finish. So congrats to Jonathan. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Still heartbroken. I'm feeling a little better because at the end of the day, if I can be upset with a 5th place finish, then I think I'm happy with that, I suppose.
Right.
But I'm not going to thank Pete for that little love tap, but I will thank him for the 10 minutes prior because that was some of the most fun I've had since joining iRacing. I think probably the funnest 10-minute stretch since I joined iRacing. So that was hopefully fun for you guys because that was fun, nerve-wracking, exciting, and dreadful all at the same time for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard to pull away from you. We were trying to cover other parts of the track and the race, but we're just like, every time we even tried, we missed something. It was fantastic racing.
There were
really
two
close.
things I was thinking
Very
was
exciting.
coming out of the pits. I was looking at my relative. I was only looking at the numbers though. I wasn't looking at the people. So when I came out and I saw Pete, I was thinking, oh, good, I'm still in the draft, so I still have this because I'm pretty sure in terms of hot laps, Pete would have had me. And then with 10 minutes to go, I made the pass, and I don't know if he was expecting for me to continue battling or not, but my intention the entire time was to make that pass and to not let him get past me, even if it meant 10 minutes of battling, which it ended up being. And it seemed to be working perfectly up until that last lap where, it was just a racing incident. So obviously no ill intent. I've raced Pete many, many, many times, and he's one of the cleanest, most fastest drivers around there. So I know for certain he did not do that on purpose.
No, these things happen. As you say, racing.
Yes, exactly.
Incident. But what a bad place for it to happen as well, right there on that blind corner.
Oh God, yeah. I don't know if you saw, I did the brake and gas at the same time to try to straighten out my car, and it was working, but I just ran out of track, and I may have been able to pull out a 2nd or a 3rd place if not for the tight confines of Detroit.
you just did a little love tap, and then all you had was a slightly bent right-hand front wing. That was it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It
It
wouldn't
was
have affected you very much.
yeah, it was unfortunate memories of Zolder when a very similar thing happened on the penultimate lap.
Oh dear me. Oh well, as I said to Jonathan just a minute ago, next week you've got the wide open expanse of circuit Zelda.
Was this not the last race of the season?
Nope,
It
one
was
more.
not. Zandvoort
One
next
more.
week.
Oh my goodness!
It's
Oh,
a
Zandvoort
leap.
though.
It's a leap season.
Interesting.
It
So
is.
Zandvoort, I believe I got pole position there.
So there you go.
Okay, all right, a little redemption
Yeah,
to
so
Chris
yeah,
Rivera. Although, can you remind me, are there bonus points for fastest lap as well as most laps led?
Now I think there is something for fastest lap, and I'm not sure about most laps led.
Okay.
But
Well,
there is.
I'm looking at the results, and it looks like I got
They
fastest
are
lap
giving
and
a
most laps led.
broadcast bonus point if you sing "Happy Birthday" to Steve Durr.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Steve Dewar. Happy birthday to you.
Oh
There you
man.
go. All right, you definitely get the broadcast bonus point there, mate.
Excellent. Well,
That's awesome.
I had to, well, yeah, I was counting on this being the last weekend. Not that I'm going to miss next weekend, I don't think. But in terms of calculations, I needed to do better than Pete did this weekend in order to have any chance of getting into first place. But I don't think that happened. So maybe one more week, maybe one more chance.
Well, you got team running on empty, Frank specifically, who's voting to shorten the races to 38 minutes, which I guess we could second that motion right here, but we'll bring that up for a vote. And what was the other thing he said? Oh yeah, most bonus points for R's in the last name. I gotta say, I had a couple more in there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I
Cool.
technically have two in my first name as well, Christopher.
Oh, that's right. It's a great first name, by the way. So
Absolutely.
bonus points for that. I'll talk to Jason about that.
Difficult to pronounce growing up when I couldn't pronounce my R's, but I got over it.
Well, we'll watch. I think this is it. One more time. We'll just watch your shame as you spin around, and then it's in
Thanks for
slow
that. I
mo too.
appreciate it.
It'll be in slow mo too for you.
Okay.
Cool. Well, anyway, it was great. For about well, actually it was longer. I don't even remember when exactly that was, but it was probably about 40 minutes. 40 minutes and 30 seconds of fantastic racing that you put on for us, and probably not the finish that you were hoping for or could have gotten, but yeah, like you said, I mean I'd die for P5, so hopefully a little perspective there. But yeah, bring that energy into Zandvoort, get the pole, and leave no doubt.
Excellent.
Awesome.
And I'm not sure if you noticed, you saw a few more viewers today. I had, let's see, brother, sister, mom, stepdad, and a new sister-in-law while watching today, along with my dad and the rest of running on.
Good Lord!
Congratulations, by the way,
Yeah,
on the new sister.
Yeah,
I would like to
very
officially
happy.
say, "Hi, Mom."
Yes, hi mom and hi dad.
Well, you definitely put on a show for them, man. So that's the key. You just need your entire family to apparently watch and look, good things happen. So awesome, man. Cool. Well, congratulations again, and hi to Chris's family and Team Running on Empty. I guess they're part now, right? They're all Team Running on Empty. So yeah.
I like to think the world is all a part of the team.
That's right. A little part in all of us.
Yeah.
That's running on empty.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and I'll let you guys finish it up. But thank you so much for everything you do, and I'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Good luck.
All right. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted.
Yeah, man. That was intense. That was fun. I am certainly glad that I was calling the action with you and not down there at ground level. Not that I would have been involved in any of that, but you gotta appreciate the folks who don't do this iRacing thing, just how intense that was for the drivers. I mean, you're literally you could see they were inches away from each other, zero mistakes, especially on this course, and so it's really neat to see folks that good at something they do in a competitive nature. And it's just so fun to watch, no matter what it is. I like all types of racing, and this league puts on a consistent good show, and that's why we keep coming back.
Yeah, no. It was a lot of fun to watch that. I thought that for a track where making mistakes, A, is so terminal and B, is so easy to do. Everybody did really well. I know we had that big wreck right there going into turn 2 right at the beginning, which is a typical issue there. But even so, congratulations to everybody who came out and raced. I thought they all did really well, and we certainly got a lot of enjoyment from watching it. So that was good fun.
Yeah, actually, sorry, I didn't catch this. He must have just dropped in, but we got Thomas Fotos in here who finished P8, which is, I believe, where he qualified as well. Thomas, how did you feel about that race, man? That's a hell of a finish. Oh,
Can you hear me?
Yep, yeah, we got you now.
Yeah, I was pretty happy. It's probably the last time I finished in the top 10 for a while. I'm not going to be here next week, so I just wanted to say the season was great and you guys did a great job, and it was a really fun season. So it's a good way to end the season for me.
Awesome, yeah. Well, yeah, we're sure we're gonna miss you for Zandvoort. At least you already raced it once this season. I don't think it's to get that going for you. But yeah, that was a heck of a show that you guys put on with the driving. Is Belle Isle? So there seem to be a little bit of people who enjoy Belle Isle and others who are just would be happy to never race it again. Where do you stand on that spectrum?
I think it's my favorite, actually. I would say this season. So
you see, I agree with you. I think once you start to you get on Belle Isle and you're like, what is wrong with these people? Are they completely insane? You feel like a marble in a marble track or whatever. I don't know. A ping pong ball and I don't know, whatever. But then you start going, yeah, it's a bit of fun,
Yeah, I think the walls make it seem like you're going a bit faster, and then this year they made it. I mean, this season I think they made it much less dramatic on the crashes, so that helped a lot. Because I definitely tagged the wall, I think, twice.
Oh, I think there's a lot of people tag. What we need to have people's leaving marks on the wall,
Like Tom was here, like that, like a spray paint.
Yeah,
just paint that on the side of your car, so when you smack it, it leaves it there.
Every time you hit it, it puts your car number on there,
It's like CS, like Counter-Strike paints.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, that like that. And so we could go back and we go, okay, so who hit here? That's who did it. Okay.
Well, I gotta say, I just pulled up your stats here real quick. There's a theme. I think your island-based circuits are your best. I don't want to
trapped on an island and I go
jinx you, but yeah, if we throw a circuit on an island, I guess Phillip Island a little bit. It looks like you may have wrecked out on that one, or had to disconnect. But yeah, other than that, it's we'll try to surround you with water as often as possible. Not that we have any control over the schedule, but weird stat.
You're not going to make Zandvoort, which is by the ocean, so
it is by the ocean. He did, and he had a great finish there too.
Yeah, and there's a lake. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, sorry you're not going to be able to join us for next week. Maybe for some of that, I guess week 14, whatever we end up doing this season for some fun. But great race, excellent finish, and we look forward to seeing what you can do next season.
Yeah, again, thanks guys, and thanks. It was last couple laps with Don. That was fun racing with Don Parkas. So yeah, good race, good season.
Take care, my friend.
Bye.
Bye.
Very cool. Yeah, and if anybody's watching this still, I know I always say that, but please interview Standby Booth, guys. Come on, let's interview some folks here. It's great getting more than just the the guys around the podium to come in and let us know what they thought about what they saw, what the race was like. We try to move throughout the field. Obviously today they were so dang close up front. It was tough, but you know what I mean.
And there were some really nice overtakes, where they're running 2 and 3 wide in some of those corners, which just going one wide, going in your own is challenging enough. Going in too wide is like, oh my gosh, you know. So very impressed.
Good night. Yeah, well, I don't know. Any last thoughts there, Ian? Looks like Running on Empty has claimed that they watched to the very end, so we'll let these poor people get out of their misery here.
we could sit here talking about a bunch of rubbish for another hour and a half.
Yeah, I know I could.
Really stay until the bitter end.
Oh boy.
No, that was a great race. I thought that, as I said, everybody put on a good show. There's still some work that the league is doing. We've sort of hinted about it in the past. We're coming up on the end of this season, and so maybe we'll see if we get some new stuff pushed together for next season. I see we've got Daniel in the standby booth. Someone I don't think we've ever spoken to in the interview booth.
Yeah, I know. Ask and ye shall receive, I suppose. We got Daniel Pagowski here.
Someone I don't think we've ever spoken to in the interview booth.
Yeah, I know. Ask and ye shall receive, I suppose. We got Daniel Pagowski here. Hold on. We got a little bit of feedback there with you, Daniel. Ask and ye. Hold on. We got a little bit of feedback there with you, Daniel.
You have me now?
Yes.
You hear me?
Hold on. We got a little bit of feedback there with you, Daniel.
Muting YouTube.
You have me now?
Yes.
You hear me?
Hold on. We got a little bit of feedback there with you, Daniel.
See, this is how we entertain ourselves. I'm sure this is how we're going to keep
You have me
everybody.
now?
Yes.
You hear me?
Hold on. We got a little bit of feedback there with you, Daniel.
See, this is how we entertain ourselves. I'm sure this is how we're going to keep
You have me
everybody.
now? You hear me?
Got a little bit of feedback there with you, Daniel.
See, this is how we entertain ourselves. I'm sure this is how we're going to keep
You have me
everybody.
now? You hear me?
How's it going? Are we there?
Did we make
Hello?
it through that?
Yeah, all of Running on Edge you've gone, no, we're not listening anymore, we're out.
That was the remix.
Exactly. Daniel, can you hear us? Oh dear. So Daniel, are you there? Oh dear. No, I think so Daniel.
Oh my goodness.
Oh dear. So apparently Daniel is eventually
Oh my goodness.
but people didn't know that about him. So apparently Daniel is eventually, when he drives the car, he has one hand on the steering wheel and one hand in a dummy. But people didn't know that about him.
All right. Sorry. We had to mute there. Danny, if you can hear us, I don't know what's happening, but when we try to talk to you. Okay, Daniel's leaving. Oh, I apologize. We'll try to get that sorted out for next time.
Yeah.
Oh,
I haven't
boy.
had the time for that one.
Well, it was
No.
entertaining, if nothing else.
It was definitely entertaining. But we still got Running on MT. Oh, the time warp is opening up. You're too right, man. You're too right.
That's
You see, look, they're still listening. I'm impressed.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hats off. Hats off. There you go.
all right. For real this time. What do you got?
I've got no more, mate. I have, but I'm not gonna. you
Yes. All right. Fair enough.
It
Fair
was a good race. We love Detroit. I love Belle Isle. I'm looking forward to racing there again. Zandvoort. I'm not sure. I might do the same thing we did this time. We'll see. Do a lap and then come in the broadcast booth, or maybe race. I haven't figured that out. It depends on how much time I get to actually get some practicing in. It's surprising how much you lose not having done it for a few weeks. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But looking forward to next weekend. It should be fun.
Yeah.
And then, of course, week 15.
Yeah, I am looking forward to seeing what we have in store for that. I've always enjoyed it. And, for those who are watching who may be new to the league, basically we take the off week in between seasons. We follow the official Skippy schedule, obviously, for our races, but there's an off week every season, as some of you know. who've been around a while, and we actually tried to just do something different, fun. I don't know if fun's the right word. I don't remember the exact words you used to describe the upcoming festivities, but I don't think fun was one of them. But it's going to be fun. Challenging, I think, was interesting, challenging. Anyway, I am looking forward to it, and looking forward to Zandvoort, looking forward to our off-week activities, which I will actually try to participate in. We typically don't broadcast that because I like to race every once in a while, so it's fun. And yeah, we'll see. I'll try to get the standings up for next time, so we can look going into the last race of the season, what the point situation is, so we can kind of analyze a little bit what Chris has to do to catch up to Pete, basically, because even with that finish, I do believe that's going to be the race to the end, although I could be wrong. We'll see what happens.
Yes, for sure.
Yep. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. It is time to go, and we will see you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. We'll be at in the Netherlands, virtual Netherlands at least, right on the beach, like Ian said, and that track usually gives us some good racing too, historically at least. So the walls are not as close, which is good. A lot of runoff, almost the exact opposite.
Zandvoort.
Go dune buggy in. So
Exactly.
yeah, good times. All right, Ian. Well, have a great night.
All right, you too, mate. And everybody
And-
listening, thanks so much. Catch you next week.
Exactly right. Thanks for watching, everybody, and special shout out to Running on Empty there, and thanks for watching. Hopefully, we've captured your attention, and you want to watch again. And 100% expect Justin Rubello to be racing once again. And although we do appreciate you watching, but anyway, y'all have a good night, and we'll see you next week.
Good night, all. Good night, Mom.